He's a guy without a clue who doesn't know what to do. Republican or Democrat, he's not sure where he's at. He's a guy without a clue who doesn't know what to do. Republican or Democrat, he's not sure where he's at. It's not so much fun knowing how the country's run. Liberals, conservatives, House of Representatives. Are you right? Are you left? Which way do you lean? Who knows what the hell does that even mean?
Welcome to POV America with your host, Brian.
Hey guys, how you doing tonight? Hopefully everybody's having a good Tuesday. Just wanted to make sure I got here on time for you. I'm not sure how long we'll be here tonight. Might be a quick show, I'm not sure. But I did want to make sure I'm trying to do that 7 o'clock every time. So for those of you that were able to tune in this morning or maybe in the afternoon for the morning drive or afternoon drive, welcome here. I'm glad you guys could make it. I am going to do my very best for you this evening. But I'm losing my voice a little bit here. For those who've been watching, I have those classes. I have like 5 classes I'm trying to get done here. So, oh man, it was a long day today, but it's actually over. So I will say that's a good thing for me. I'm not sure where you guys are at in your day, but hopefully you're about ready to get out of there too. So anyway, this morning, uh-oh, hang on one second. I don't know if you can hear that beeping in the background. That is my air fryer. So I'm going to have to, just one moment, I'm going to have to go and, we'll talk about my air fryer when I get back. Hold on. My latest toy. Hold on.
He's
Hey guys, you there? Alright, trying to get this green screen put back together. I was trying to show you guys just basically a little bit about it. See, this is the green behind it is should be coming up on this camera. I have a filter on, and when you have the green screen up and I put this filter on, my background is supposed to kind of blend in with that. But for some reason, and I'm not sure exactly why, I have to have some kind of a problem with this filter. So this is what I'd be able to, if I say select color, it's supposed to work pretty simple, but for whatever reason, I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing today. See if this works. There we go. And then if I put that over there, oh man, go figure, guys. I have no idea what was going on with this green screen here today, but I will make sure that we lock these in place so they don't happen again. There we go. No, there we go. Why is my transition? It's just like everything that was on my screen decides it's just gonna do whatever the hell it wants. So where's my background? The background should be there. My background should be there. There we go. Okay. Is that kind of, what the hell? Okay, now that's how it should look. Okay, so it actually is working now. It only takes me 5 minutes to figure out what this software decides to do. It just dumped my chroma key. It was just like, oh, here's your green screen. Anyway, I had to take a quick minute for my this air fryer that I have, and it was kind of funny because when for those of you that have been kind of following me since I started this streaming the 1st of January. And in the 1st of January, one of my, I had basically a couple New Year's resolutions. My first resolution was I was going to stop smoking, which was a real easy one for me to keep because I've never smoked. So it was actually just one that I knew I could keep if I made that resolution. And the other one, I wanted to lose basically 50 pounds. And right now I weighed in at 305 on New Year's Day, and I'm down to about 283, 282. Right now, so my weight is going down. But one of the things that I've done is I've added this air fryer, and if you've never had these air fryers, I mean, I'm not a cook. The only thing I've ever made for dinner is like reservations. Okay, I just don't cook. My wife doesn't cook. We don't cook. So what happens when you don't cook and you go out to eat all the time? You get progressively larger. Okay, you get progressively larger in size, especially if you're like me. As an educator, I have a job where I sit on my ass all day, and it just kind of, my ass starts to conform to the chair. It gets so big. So, it's been really frustrating to have this weight put on. When I was in the military, I was in the Army, 150, 155 pounds tops. I don't know, I haven't seen that in over 150 pounds. I'm 150 pounds heavier than I've ever been. So when I decided to do this thing on New Year's Day, I said I'm going to go from 305, I want to lose 50 pounds. Well, I'm already down maybe 20. I haven't even done the math, but I'm down quite a bit. And one of the reasons is I got this stupid air fryer. My son got one and said it was great. And so I looked at it, and I'll tell you what, man, it is the easiest freaking thing I've ever, I buy pork loins, pork tenderloins, I buy steaks, I buy burgers. You just throw it in there, push the button, walk away, and come back. It's done. No grease, no messy cleanup, just a little bit in the bottom. I mean, it's pretty cool. I was like, wow, man. I said, this thing is really great. Well, now I'm using this thing more and more than I've ever cooked, and I'm eating so much more. But the stupid thing is, like, it cooks. You have to kind of tweak it because it cooks faster than my oven did. Like, if I put something in the oven, it would normally take this amount. Well, because this is circulating the heat around whatever I put in there, it's cooking it much faster. So I'm kind of having to learn and adjust to how this thing is actually working. But it is one of the best things. It was 99 bucks, I think I paid for it on QVC. When they say, oh, 20 bucks a month, you have to, and I was like, yeah, whatever. The best investment I've made. Great thing. It does crispy French fries, perfect, like if you do any kind of like, cheese, the actual cheese sticks, pork chops, pork loin, tenderloins, steaks, you name it. I got the bigger one, the I think it's 5.6 quart, but awesome thing to have. So, anyway, that was just, I kind of digress. That was one of those things that were very good investment on my part because, like I said, I don't cook. And if you don't cook, that's exactly what you want to have, is something that you can just say, hey, look, you know what? I'll use this thing as much as I can, but I don't have to kill myself, But yeah, I really do appreciate it. And I was, for those of you that had, I've always talked to you guys about one of the guys that I watch all the time, Barnacles. He's on one of the Twitch channels. If you ever get a chance, tune him in. Great show too. I can tell you, I've been watching him for years as he's kind of progressed, and just a great show. If you ever get a chance to watch him, tune in there and you'll see what I'm talking about. Today was one of those days where I got, during the stream, I don't know if it was it coming, I think it was going to work, one of the topics that we kind of touched on just out loud. You know how sometimes you say something and you kind of tongue-in-cheek, just kind of throw it out there. And, well, I made a comment, and I'm going to go ahead and, I made a comment about religion. Not a comment that was insulting. It was just about one of the people that had one of the people that I had spoke with, and he had a oh God, what's the way to say it? He had a unique speech pattern, and he was very much very, 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 very religious. I mean, and he had sent me a little chat thing when I was online, and he said, "Well, hey," he says, "you were a pastor. You were a pastor for 4 years, and why did you turn your back?" And and he kind of started in a way that was at first not too confrontational, just kind of asking me what happened and what changed my faith and all that, just a lot of kind of personal questions. But I didn't. I just told him the way it was, and well, then it got to where he was very oh man, if you've ever watched a lot of the old Baptist preachers in the day, the fire and brimstone, and that, he kind of started getting along that line, about the fire and brimstone and how, but he had the voice that he had, in my head. It's just like I could almost picture him, as a Southern Baptist, just because of the accent. I don't know if it's a Southern accent or whatever, but he would talk about how you can't turn your back on Jesus, and and he just really started getting into it. And he's sending me these little voice clips, trying to, I don't know if he was trying to bait me into a discussion, or if he was trying to insinuate that I was not going to be a Christian for this reason or that reason. I don't know. It was one of those times where you just kind of have to feel kind of feel it out and say, okay, well, what's going on here? Why is this person, is he intentionally trying to bait me, or is he really concerned about, my damnation and hellfire? Who knows? But that was one, and I just wanted people to know, when I mention things about, if I say something about religion, don't take it personal. If it's not your thing, if it's if you have a different belief or whatever, that's great. I'm glad you have that. Just don't take the things that I say personal. Same thing with politics. I don't know if if you're a Trump, if you're a never Trumper, the ones that don't like Trump, or if you're one of the people that do like Trump, I don't care. I really don't care whether you like him, you don't like him. That's your own personal things. But don't take it offensive if I say something that you don't agree with. Chat me if you want. Go ahead, get on the chat me, say you disagree, and we'll talk about it, and we'll see. You want to try to win me over to your side, make me see something that maybe I don't know or I haven't looked at it a certain way? I'm open for that. I'm okay with that. You know, open discussion is how most of the problems in this world could be solved if we just communicate. So don't take things personal. If I say something about religion that you don't agree with, or politics that you don't agree with, or if I say anything about anything and you don't agree with it or you have a different point of view, feel free to share it. I don't mind. I don't mind that. But what I do absolutely mind is when you... Actually, you know what, though? I really don't even mind. I was going to say when you attack me because of my belief or because of what I think, you know, I mind that, but I really don't. I mean, there's people that's kind of how they release stress, or that's how they... So I don't know if it's really that big of a deal to me. And I don't really think it is. I mean, for the most part, I am who I am. I'm pretty comfortable in my views and the stances. You know, you talk about gun control. I know where I stand on gun control. You talk about abortion or pro-life, you know, pro-choice. I know where I am on those issues. I don't ask anybody to agree with me. I mean, I don't say, well, because you believe this and I believe this, you should believe my way. I don't. Look, there's great arguments on both sides of every single topic that you can think of. Whether you're talking about building the wall, there's great, you know, we talk, man, how many times has the wall come up? We've talked about the wall. We've talked about things that, all these topics that come up, these discussions, everybody's got different views. I'm very, very open to listening and learning because I don't know everything. I know, trust me, my wife makes that clear to me every day. I don't know everything. Matter of fact, according to her, I don't know anything. So, I mean, she is, I hate to admit this, but she's right like 90% of the time she's right. 95 if you want to be exact. But, I mean, but I don't tell her that. It goes to her head if you say something like that. So, yeah, so I really just kind of tell people that if I say something you don't agree with me, man, don't get pissed. Just tell me, just chat me and say, hey, I don't agree with that or whatever. I mean, I know where I stand. I know where I stand on the issues of abortion and gun control, the wall, Trump. I'm very confident with who I am and where I am on all these different issues. I don't take it personal when somebody disagrees with me. So don't take it personal if I say something that you don't agree with. If I say, yeah, we need the wall, and you don't think we need the wall, just go ahead and chat me and say, man, are you crazy? Why do you think we need the wall? Whatever. I don't mind. I'll talk about anything if it's not a problem. You want to tell me I'm on the wrong? I had somebody tell me because I told them I'm cutting down all my sugars and carbs, and I had somebody send me an email that detailed a health plan with a bunch of links, and I mean, they took time to put this email together. I mean, they really took time, and it included like links to all these studies where the diet that I chose is not healthy, and where this one's a healthier one, and this is the way I should do this is the way I should do that. And my first reaction was like, wow, they put a lot of time. This is not just an email saying your thing sucks. I mean, they really put time into putting this together. So I actually responded, and I said, and if you're watching, that my response was sincere. It was like, I wasn't saying that your suggestions weren't valid. I wasn't saying that you were wrong and I was right. I was simply saying that what works for me works for me. I mean, I've dropped over 20 pounds like that, and I've never been happier, and I've never done it easier. And you're saying, that's bad for my health. Well, guess what? My sugar levels are right normal, no medication anymore. I mean, it's working for me. Could it be maybe long-term ineffective? Maybe. But I eat, and I'm healthy as far as I know, and it just works for me. So I didn't take your, I didn't take anything you said lightly. I mean, I read everything. I actually went to every link. I went to every single link that you gave me, and I read the little stories about, this one is worse than this one is worse than... I mean, I really did. I mean, just so you know, when you say... Brian, we don't agree with you on the wall, we don't need a wall, and I say we do need a wall. And then when you say, well, gun control is this, and I say it's this, and, we want pro-life, just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I didn't do my research. I do my research. I just have different views than some people, and that's what we're all about. We all share those different things, and we talk about them. Like we talk about relationships. People got onto me because I've been married 30 years. And, I've had people say, how can you be married 30 years to the same person? I've been divorced twice. I've been divorced 3 times. Hey, I got a simple formula of what works for me. Just for me. It's my formula. And I know why I'm successful in my marriage. A lot of people take multiple marriages before they figure that out. Or they burn through multiple boyfriends or girlfriends before they figure out the true secret to a successful relationship. Some of us find it out really early. And all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Man, once you accept it, and once I accepted it, it was simple for me. So 30 years later, I couldn't think. I mean, I literally couldn't think of waking up in the morning and not having her next to me. I couldn't even imagine what that would be like not having her in my life. Most people don't have the luxury of saying that. Most people don't say, oh, I've been with it. Most people say, this is kind of, you say, how long have you been married? Oh, man, I've been married for 10 years. That's the reaction you get. How long have you been married? 10 years, 12 years, I don't know. That's kind of like how long you guys been dating? Oh my God, dating like 5, 6 years. People ask me how long. I've been married 30 years. 30 years to the same woman, one time. Never like broke up, get back together. No, one time, 30 years, that's where I'm at. So I don't ever tell people, this is the way you should feel, this is the way you shouldn't feel about anything. I really, truly believe that you're going to be the person you're going to be, and I'm not going to mislead you. I'm not going to try and drag you down my path. What's right for me may not be right for you. It just may not be. People get into relationships, whether you're young, whether you're old, people get into these situations where they want to know what's right for them. And a lot of times it's difficult for them to understand or really put into words what they feel. Now, as I said, I don't have a problem. I know exactly where I stand. Excuse me, guys, need a little Mountain Dew. Hold on. Oh, that's good. Oh. Nectar of the gods. So, but I do appreciate the emails. I mean, I like, I do the morning drive, and that's just where I think out loud. So on my way into work, I'm thinking out loud and just kind of BSing and talking, kind of sharing some thoughts. Same thing with the drive home. I don't have it where you guys can audibly chat or anything, so it's more or less just for me to make the ride home and back a little bit more enjoyable, plus to keep my ass awake if I'm tired during the day. It's good to be able to get out there and just kind of talk. But to have you, to have you guys send me an email or follow me. I mean, matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and give my shameless plug. Follow me if you can. Follow me on Twitch. Subscribe to me on YouTube. I stream to so many different platforms. I stream to Smashcast, Stream Me, YouTube, Periscope, Mixer, Twitch. What was that? 6, 2, 4, 5, 6. And I used to stream to Facebook, but I haven't quite figured them out yet. Every time I create my account, I'll get 2 or 3 days into it, and they all of a sudden will say, oh, well, we didn't, you have to send us your picture or whatever. They basically like cancel or suspend my account. I haven't quite figured out why yet. I don't know what their problem is, what their hang-up is. I kind of go, well, what's going on with that? Why is it that I'm being punished? I kept thinking I was doing something wrong, but anyway, I'm not gonna worry about it. They got their own little hang-ups, and I'm not a big Facebook fan anyway. I mean, I'm just not. I've never used them. It's like, I guess because I was in the time of BBS or bulletin board systems, and when I was brand new into computers when we were doing punch cards back in the day. So I kind of grew up in the technology side of things. And when the internet came around, there's guys like me going, yeah, we were doing this for years with BBSs. We had 256 lines, and so we were kind of not too impressed by the internet, but it brought around some really cool things. So, yeah, I'm not gonna geek out today. No, I'm not gonna do it because I can easily start being a super geek if I wanted, but I don't want to do that. I want to just but anyway, I do want to say though, thanks for you guys watching. If you watched in the morning or the afternoon show, and if you could subscribe, I would appreciate it. Follow me, subscribe, and I love having you guys give me feedback. And don't be afraid to chat. If you've got, like I look over, when I look at the different channels, I can see the different people watching. So I can see, I can kind of, well, it does, I can't see you personally, but I see like there's 7 watching here, there's 5 watching there, there's 10 watching there. I can see who's watching, and it's like, well, don't be afraid to chat. I mean, if you don't agree with something or whatever, go ahead and talk, go ahead and chat. I don't mind. I don't bite often. So, but I do appreciate, the watches. So that's kind of just to know that even if it's just flicking through, going, oh yeah, that's pretty cool, and then going on, that's fine. I'm okay with that. So, but tonight I'm gonna try. I'll probably do an hour, and that's gonna be it. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm just trying to see. We're just talking about the air fryer. I was just like, did that thing go off? I want to make sure. But yeah, I'm going to try and make it a kind of a short stream tonight, maybe an hour, maybe 45 minutes. Just unless we get unless we get more people coming in and there's some chat. Because right now, the way being so new to streaming, I kind of know that I fall down towards the bottom. Like you notice how the ones that have the more people watching them kind of rise in the ranks up to the top. But the ones like that have the fewest kind of fall to the bottom. So I always kind of think of myself as having the fewest right now at this juncture. I feel I have the fewest followers, the fewest watchers right now. So when I do these streams, there's kind of in my back of my head, I'm going, oh, you're just doing them for yourself right now. You're gonna have one person maybe who's somebody who's sitting somewhere drunk, drinking, going, what is this guy talking about? So I always kind of feel that there's like maybe one person actually watching the stream, and that may be very well. I never really went to my channel to watch it while I'm watching, just to see who's on there watching it. But it doesn't really matter to me. What matters is that I really truly want to get in. I want to get into a habit of being here at a certain time. I want to get in the habit of doing a morning drive and an afternoon drive. I want to try and build a show based on something that's going to be interesting. So, and just trying to figure out and find exactly that niche, that's tough. I mean, trying to find out exactly because I don't want to be somebody I'm not. I don't want to be somebody that I have to act like I wouldn't normally act. I like to be myself. I like to talk about the things I want to talk about. If I want to talk about weight loss, I'm going to talk about weight loss. If I want to talk about this, I'm going to talk about that. You guys know. Oh, listen. Can you hear that? That beeping? It's my hot air. That's my hot air fryer. So that means my pork tenderloin is done. But it's all right. So that's kind of where I'm at. I want to make sure that I build something that has a good following, but I also want to make sure that I enjoy doing what I'm doing. If we talked about poker, I think I talked a little bit about No Limit Hold'em because I love playing No Limit Hold'em. I love the tournaments. I played in a cash game over the weekend. I enjoy it. So that's the kind of thing. It's like if I want to talk about that and somebody wants to chime in and join in, that's great. If not, I'm not going to sweat it. I don't want to talk about things that I don't enjoy, that I'm not happy with. So let me see. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I haven't got a chance. I haven't really, because I'm doing these classes, which for those of you that have ever had to take classes, these are online classes where they have no concept that we have a real life, outside of these classes. So each class I'm taking, and I'm taking 5 simultaneously, each one of them doesn't give you one day's worth of homework. If the class is on a Tuesday, they give you homework for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, and then you have to have all of it ready by Tuesday again. So when you have 2 classes on Tuesday, 2 on Thursday, 1 on Monday, and all of them are giving you 5 days of homework for when you're not in class, it all piles up. You talk about stress. It gets really stressful to try and juggle all these classes. And then even tonight, I had one class on each, basically I'm watching them both on a screen and interacting with both classrooms, and man, it gets hectic. So, but if you've ever taken a class online, this is the first time I've actually taken 5 of them, but it's just, I can actually tell you it's changed a lot. It's a whole new experience than what it used to be. Taking classes before used to be easy. Now, way harder, at least the ones that I'm taking. So, I'm trying to do my best to finish those courses up, get those classes out of the way. And for those of you that literally have not taken them online, go to the courses if you can. Don't take them online if you're doing these any type of the university classes. Anyway, so yeah, it was definitely not something that would make me want to do it again. So I'm hoping that right now I got 100% in all the ones that I'm working on. I'm hoping I can keep that up. So going on to what I was saying, half hour tonight. Maybe if we do a half hour, we'll do 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Then I'm going to go ahead and call it a night and evening. Unless we get folks in the chat, I'll go ahead and stay on a little bit longer. I haven't really got a chance today because I've been kind of swamped. I haven't really got a chance today to check out and see really anything about what's been going on. I'm sure there has to be some kind of news about Trump because that just seems to be an everyday thing. There was something about, I remember the White House was doing a partial ban on, wasn't it transgender troops or something? They were doing some kind of a ban on that. I did see a little of that. Let me see. Let's see if I can take a quick look here and see what we have on anything, if there's anything interesting. Well, some of these news sites are actually pretty decent, but you've got to look at them from the perspective of whether they're Democrat or Republican when they write these things. So it says here, Senate sets up showdown votes on shutdown plans. So I guess they have different proposals to get this thing stopped. So we'll see how it works. Let me see. What is this? Trump proceeds with State of the Union plans. So I guess next week he's going to do his State of the Union, which she tried to get him not to do. So that's actually interesting. What else we got? Anything else going on here? Salvadorian man to be charged in 4 fatal shootings in Nevada. Wonderful. Chris Brown released in Paris after rape complaint. Boy, I'm telling you. Just a lot of this stuff that's going on today just makes me, you look at the things that make headlines and you're kind of going, what the hell? I got to read about marijuana this, or I got to read about there's really no good news. And I mean that like there's no good news. It's all crap. It's just all designed to make you feel like shit. And I just kind of watch this stuff and go, that's why I was telling you guys before, I hate going to different sites and actually reading the news on those sites because it's all bad news. It's all designed to make you feel terrible, about the world and about your own place in it. So, all right, let me see. Anything else good? Nope. So anyway, what's going on with you guys? Anything? Hopefully something good. Hopefully you have a good rest of the week. Tomorrow's hump day, so weekend should be coming around fast. Now, for those of you that weren't watching this morning, I was talking about on Saturday, because you guys know I was going to go Saturday and I was going to see these movies, right? So I was talking about I'm going to go see Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse, and I was going to see Bumblebee and all. I was going to go see the movies that are out, Aquaman, and just going to kill the whole day on Saturday. Well, after Friday, I did the Friday show. I stayed up till like 4 in the morning, and after staying up at 4 in the morning, it was one of those situations where I finally dozed off, and then I woke up at like 3 in the afternoon on Saturday. So I was like, oh man, so I slept the whole day away. I couldn't. I was like, okay, well, I'll go to a movie. I'll go to a later movie. And, so I got dressed, got ready, did the whole 9 yards, and then decided, you know what? I'm going to go play in a tournament. I'm going to go play in a poker tournament because I've been wanting to play in one ever since the hurricane hit, but I haven't done it. But I was feeling good. I was like, you know what? I've lost 20 pounds. I'm lighter. I sit better at the tables. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go play some poker. So I went down to the card room and I sat down, and the tournament had to start. It was like an hour and a half. before the tournament. So I sat down at a cash table to just play some cash. So they play $1, $2, no limit. So you can bet $1, $2, or you can bet it all. It doesn't really matter. But so I sat down and I started playing that. Well, the next thing I know, I'm up 100, then I'm up another 100. Yeah, and I was actually doing very well in the cash game. So they announced the tournament. Everybody bought in. They started playing the tournament. And I was like, I'm not going to play. I'm just going to stay at the cash table because I'm doing pretty good. Well, then they play the whole first break of this tournament. So the tournament goes on. They play like 5, 6 levels. I'm not sure how many levels they play before the break. So then everybody in the tournament goes on break, and they're like, well, if you're going to buy in, this is where you have to do it now before the end of break if you want to get in the tournament. So I look down. I got a nice chip stack, and I'm like, you know what? I'll go ahead and buy into the tournament because for me, it's like a free roll. I'm not buying into it. I got this money that I've won. I'll put the rest in my pocket. I'll go do my buy-in, and it's just like playing the tournament for free. So I go ahead, I do the buy-in, I go to the table, and I sit down with my 4,000. I got 3 yellow chips that were 1,000 each, and I got like 2. I got three yellow chips that were 1,000 each. 2 of these, I think they were purple chips or red chips. I'm not sure. They were like 500 each. And then some, 5 black chips, which were like $100. So you start with like $4,500. So, or 4,500 chips. So I sit down with my 4,500 chips and I'm looking around the table and everybody's got me way outstacked. And I'm like, I should have started playing at the beginning instead of coming in on break because they've already played so much of and I'm like, oh man, I'm looking around, there's 12,000, 15,000, 20,000. I mean, people had big stacks, but I'm a pretty decent short, when I'm short chip stack, I'm a pretty good player. So I just sat there and grinded it out a little bit. So I, went a little bit longer, got moved from one table to another table. Pretty soon, there's only like 20 of us left in the whole tournament. There's over 100, I believe, to get it, in the tournament originally. But we got down to 20 where we had 2 tables, and they're waiting to make the first table, the 10th table, and they literally get it all the way down to 11, and I've got a nice chip stack, and we're waiting it out. And we come to find out it's not a tournament where you're going to get money to win. You actually it's a satellite tournament, so you win an entry into a $40,000 bigger tournament on Sunday. So as I'm playing, they say, well, if you make the final table, if just all 10 people that sit at that final table get an entry automatically. So I grinded it out till I got into the final table and I got my entry for the weekend tournament. But I remember thinking to myself going, wow, I mean, it was just so easy to whip through 100 people like nothing. It was like, wow, it was really, there's some bad players. There's some good players, but there's also a lot of bad players. So it'll be interesting to see how I play. I think I've got to play the first flight of the tournament. I have to play either Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. There's 4 days that you can play your first leg of this tournament, the first flight, they call it. And after that, if you don't, you have to actually make it through the first 12 levels of play. So you got to make it through the first 12 levels of play, and then you chip up and you put them in a bag, zip them up, and then you come back on Sunday for the main event to continue. But I will say that it was definitely a lot of fun, and so I'm looking forward to it this week. So we'll see how it goes. Let me think, what else? Yeah, that's about it. I mean, nothing big and exciting. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this to bed tonight and thank everybody for stopping by, and I hate to leave you guys, but after 45 minutes, I kind of really, truly think that I'm exhausted right now. I mean, I'm just kind of like hanging in there. So I wanted to make sure that I at least came here on time and we got a chance to talk. And if anybody wanted to, chat, we would chat. But it's one of those days where I'm just so spent after going through it and then having these classes. My brain is kind of like fried. I'm losing my voice too. So, but I do want to say thanks, guys, for being there and kind of just following me. And hopefully, you guys will see me in the morning or the afternoon during the drives, and then I'll be back again tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and we'll do this again, and we'll keep building the show as it goes. So thanks, guys. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.